Hey guys, my name is Ben Howard, and today we're going to be talking about my 5th attempt to try and shoot 1,000 rated round with Goliath discs. This time we were playing in the HaGOOD 2-day throw harder event out at HaGOOD Mill. HaGOOD is a really fun course, but it's not very challenging at all. Let me double check, but I think 1,000 rated round out here needed to be 11 under. The hot round of the tournament was 10 under, and it was 995, so this definitely isn't as easy as East Flat Rock Park, but I would say this is like a step below Dolly Cooper, maybe closer to Century, where for MA1 MPO this is basically going to be a birdie or die course, and I would say that's how this played. The course has a great mixture of open and wooded style golf, and is really just a really fun course to play. I went into this tournament pretty unprepared, which was pretty unfortunate. I was actually planning on playing the tournament at Lake Julian, but wasn't able to sign up until the Friday before the tournament, and then forgot to sign up until it was too late. But I hopped into this one knowing, like, I've played the course a few times. The course isn't that difficult, and figured at worst I'm just going to have fun out there. But even before I got to the tournament, I just kind of felt off. I ended up leaving a lot later than I normally do, and I only had like 20 to 25 minutes to check in and warm up. But getting into the first round, we started on hole 5. I don't have any videos for this tournament, but if you go on UDisc, they actually have some great pictures of the entire course. So we're going to be looking through those today. But hole 5, you either have that just dead straight shot down the middle, or what a lot of other people are doing is there's a wide hyzer route where you can get the disc to kind of skip and filter down towards the basket. It's definitely the much preferred play, because if you hit anything and kick left, your best option is probably a bogey at that point. But I tried to go wide right, early released it, hit probably like third available on the right, kicked me left. I ended up throwing my approach shot too well, threw it past the basket, and had like a 30-footer. Missed that. For hole 6, that one I just threw a flex forehand straight at the basket. Tried to let it filter off to the right, because you can't really see in the pictures, but the ground, if you're standing at the tee pad looking at the basket, the ground slips from right to left. Throwing the forehand keeps it from skipping too far to the right, but got that hole. Next we got hole 7, which is one of the trickiest holes on the course, but tee shot, as you can see with this arrow, basically want to throw either like a straight forehand or kind of flippy backhand at these 2 trees you can see right here, and just have it finish to the right and pass them, and you'll have like I think there's a forehand gap and a backhand gap right there. I threw mine just short into the right of these trees, so I wasn't far enough to where I would have like that straight approach shot in the green. Tried to throw like a forehand hyzer, threw it short, got a par. Hole 8 is another par 4. This one you really just have to get to that, up on top of that shelf you can see just past the arrow. If you can get up there, you're going to have like a 200-foot forehand approach shot in the green. I threw mine really well, but sawed off the forehand and ended up like 40 feet short, missed the putt. Hole 9. Hole 9's a really tricky par 3. This one you've got a forehand gap down the right or a backhand turnover on the left. I kept trying the backhand turnover because the forehand just brings a lot of danger into play. Where the backhand's really difficult, but you're going to have a better chance of scrambling from over there on the left. But I tried the backhand turnover, threw it too far, and kicked left. I had like no way to get up and down, basically. Ended up bogeying that hole. And for hole 10, this one you throw a hyzer flip with something that's kind of stable. So that way it kind of flips, but doesn't flip to flat, just pushes and fades out near the end. I think I hit like first available on the right, kicked left, but was able to get up and down for par, which was nice. For hole 11, this one looks a lot farther on camera than it actually is. I think it's only like 150 feet, but it's just a stock forehand approach shot. The only thing is, like I said, it's just really far uphill. I think I early released my shot on this one, gave myself like a edge of circle putt and chained out on that one. 12 is basically the exact opposite of 11, where you're throwing way downhill. There is OB Creek behind the basket, but it's like 30 feet past, and it's pretty rare you get all the way back to it. But on this one, I took my flippy Genesis, just threw it soft on a touch of hyzer, flipped up, hit like right at the base of the basket, and skipped probably 25 feet past. I wasn't too worried, but I got down there and I had like no putt at all. So I ended up missing that, got a par. Hole 13. 13's like my nemesis hole in this course, because like I cannot throw this shot. So I tried Waymaker the first round, but the Waymaker's too stable for that shot. I pulled it, hit something on the right side and kicked left. I think I had like a 40-footer, missed that. But this hole makes me want to add a baseline Waymaker to my bag, just so that way I have that straight putter It's not as glidey as the Genesis. For hole 14, you can see this one's pretty far uphill, and it is a left to right moving shot, but the play is a backhand turnover. Like throwing a forehand is just so difficult on this shot. This one I put under the basket, which felt great because I needed that at that point. Then 15's, I think there's a debate between 15 and 9, which one's the hardest par 3 in the course. I think it's easier to bogey 15, but I think it's harder to birdie 9. Either way, this is one of the hardest holes in the course. You can see you've got a backhand hyzer around the right, but nobody ever takes that line. The best play is just going up the middle, throwing either a flip-up forehand or a slightly understable backhand. I was going with my flippy Enoch on this one, just because I don't really have a mid-range that I feel comfortable throwing on this line. Because you need to throw something that'll flip up and then turn, because you don't need the disc to turn until probably about 150, 200 feet down the fairway. I know I parred it, but I don't remember how exactly. I think I hit on the left side, kicked, and was like 40 feet short. I missed that. But for hole 16, we're finally getting back out in the open. And 16 is one of, if not the easiest holes on the course. Just a stock backhand hyzer. I threw my Waymaker just flat at the trees on the right, let it fade out, and I think I put it like 20 feet. Made the putt. 17's the signature hole on the course, as you could probably guess. I pretty much ended up throwing the same shot I did on 16, just threw the Waymaker out to the right. I was throwing it a little nose down just to make sure that it would push a long time before it got that fade, but faded out. I think I put that one to like 10, 15 feet on the first round. And then 18's probably one of the longest holes in the course. Maybe not in like actual distance, but as you can tell, the basket's way uphill, so it plays close to 400 feet. I threw this one to like 30 feet short on the side of the hill, made the putt. So getting back to hole 1. Hole 1 is just, as you can tell, wide open, nothing in the way, 300 feet. Into a hyzer, turnover, you can do whatever you want to on this hole. I was going with my stable arc, just trying to throw it out to the right, let it crash in. During this round, I early released it and threw it just straight at the basket. Ended up like maybe edge of circle, 40 feet left of the basket, missed the putt. And for hole 2, this one would be just like a stock forehand for a lot of people, but it's just a little too far for me to throw a flat forehand. I probably could get a flex forehand there, but I'm really trying to get away from throwing that because I have a natural anhyzer release, and so I'm trying to get away from throwing those shots. I'm trying to get more into throwing some forehand hyzers, or at least just getting my forehands flat. So I end up throwing a flippy gyra out to the left on a little bit of anhyzer, let it coast back to the right. I think I got it to like maybe 25, 30 feet, made that putt. Hole 3 feels like one of the simplest holes on the course, but that OB being right there on the right. During the tournament, they brought the OB off the creek and up to the edge of the bank. You can see right here. So like with hole 2, if you have a good forehand, you can just throw a forehand hyzer into the green. But I ended up throwing the Waymaker flat because we had a little bit of headwind and just ended up like 35 feet short, missed the putt. And then finally for hole 4, just a straight shot, slightly uphill. I ended up throwing the Redemption, which turned a little bit, but kicked off some of the branches on the right and actually put me into like 5 feet. That was a nice way to finish out the round and gave me a really nice comeback at the end. So it really felt like I redeemed my round on those last few holes because I was able to put together 6 birdies in the back 9. Yeah, the main theme of this round was just like the lack of focus because everything was fine. Like I was making putts. Sometimes I was throwing good backhands. Sometimes I was throwing good forehands. Sometimes. And typically when that's happening, it's because I'm dehydrated, but I wasn't dehydrated at all. So I don't know what was going on with me, but that was just like the theme of the day. It was like just a brain fog where it just made focusing on these shots harder, which is annoying because none of these holes are that complicated. Like even the most difficult holes on the course, if you picked them up and put them on different courses in the area, they wouldn't stick out at all. But being able to put together those birdies in the back 9, it definitely gave me some confidence going in the second round. But getting into round 2, started on hole 3. I put it to 20 feet, missed the putt. Hole 4, I hit the trees on the right again, fell straight down, had like a 40-footer, missed that. Hole 5, I made the correction, threw the shot like I meant to, got the birdie. Hole 6, birdied that one again, which was good because I threw the disc too low that time, and like kind of skipped, put myself to like 30 feet maybe, made that putt, which felt really good, especially after missing the first 2 holes. 7 was interesting, and really just this whole section of being in the woods was very interesting, and I was getting very, very lucky during this stretch. Hole 7, I early released the backhand, kicked left, and so I got up there. I was almost at hole 6's basket, but threw a forehand turnover, got out to like just short of the rocks, which during the first round I was just past the rocks and had no way to get up and down. But at that point I'm like, what do I have to lose? Like, I'm probably not going to shoot 1,000 round because I've already missed 2 of the easier holes on the course. So I got my most stable slingshot, just threw it on a touch of anhyzer as high as I possibly could. And it got up there, turned, and just went directly to the right. And I think I ended up throwing it like just over the top of the basket because I was like 20 feet long. I had a weird putt from up there too, ended up making that putt. So I ended up saving par from like a position where double bogey was 100% in play. And then for hole 8, I tried throwing the same shot I threw during round 1, which was like a flip up with a putter, but I threw it too straight and it hit on the side of that hill and rolled to the right into the woods. But once you're in the woods over there, there's actually a little trail that goes to the straight to the basket, and you're probably less than 200 feet from the basket from where I was. So I just took a chain breaker, threw on a forehand roller straight up and down. I probably got maybe 150 feet out of it, and I ended up giving myself maybe like an 80-foot approach shot. But on my approach, I hit like the last tree I needed to miss to park the basket. Gave myself like a 40-footer, made that. So I was feeling good because like I had scrambled really well and got pars in situations where most of the time you get bogey or double bogey. But then we got back around hole 9. The first round went with the arc. So for this round, I went with the Enoch. Still too much disc, pushed too far, kicked left. Wasn't able to get up and down, save the par that time. But then we got to hole 10, where I did the same thing again, shanked my shot to the right, but this time it got through all the trees, and I put it to probably 15 feet, and was the only person on my card to get a birdie on that hole, so that felt really good in some ways. It also felt gross. But 11, made the correction, was able to birdie that one. 12, I overcorrected, tried throwing the same shot, just really short, and I threw it like 30 feet short of the basket. Almost made the putt though. Then for 13, I tried throwing the flippy Covenant. I ended up pulling it right again. This time it kicked me right. I did go out of bounds luckily, but tried throwing a forehand approach shot, threw it 30 feet short and missed the putt and bogeyed one of the easiest holes on the course. 14, I was able to birdie again. This time I got a really lucky tree kick, which put me to like 15 feet. 15, I tried throwing the same Enoch again because I'm like, what else am I going to do? I threw it well, but I'm like, that's going 100 feet past the basket. That doesn't hit anything. And then sure enough, it hit something, fell down to like 25 feet, missed the putt. 16, just threw the same shot with the Waymaker, put that under the basket. 17, what did I do there? I think I threw it short because I think the first round we had a right to left wind, which kind of lifted it and kept my shot in the air, got it all the way down there. But during the second round, I think we had a left to right wind, which kind of pushed it down. 18, I got scared because I thought we had a headwind, so I tried throwing the same shot I did during the first round with my slingshot, the white slingshot. But I threw it on more hyzer, but I threw it on too much hyzer, so it kind of flipped to flat and pushed straight and then faded out at the basket. I ended up with like a 35-footer up the hill, missed that. Holes 1 and 2, I really ran out of steam. Like, I don't know if I was just tired. I don't think I was dehydrated. I don't know what it was. I had like no mental endurance at all and really given up at that point of the round. I threw the tee shot on hole 1 better than I did the first round, but it still skipped and went like 20 feet left, missed the putt. Hole 2, we had like a headwind, so I went with the Redemption, trying to throw it straight at the trees between us and the basket, hoping it would turn off of them and push straight into that gap, straight at the basket. But I think I threw it nose up and didn't commit to the shot, so it just faded out left. I had like a 50-footer, missed that, and got a par. So yeah, like I said, the main theme of this tournament was just a lack of focus, lack of preparation, I guess. But like I said, I really just couldn't focus on much. And considering that, I'm not mad with how this tournament went. Because like I said, I had fun. It's just frustrating knowing that like nothing was wrong with my game except for my mentality. So y'all let me know what you think about that down in the comments. If y'all have any other tournaments you think I should play, let me know as well. But thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and have a good one.